Welcome to Keep It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports. I'm with my man Big E on another Monday night. We didn't shoot Sunday, but we're going to shoot on Monday. Monday seems to be pretty good for me, Big E. It's been a long day. Got up early this morning, did a little bit of stripe fishing. My daughter was calling sword fishing. She said, Dad, are you going sword? I said, no, baby, I'm going stripe fishing. And for you folks that's out there was kind of teasing me, you know I cannot swim, but I still caught 15 fish. I stayed on the boat, had a great time, got a chance to go out there with my boss, Chris, and our owner, Rick Higginson. So thanks for the invite, guys. It was a great time, but I made it back in time to shoot this show with my man, Big E. We're going to have a special guest on tonight, RT Sherman, the big RT, man. The guy was a reporter for the Daily Oklahoma. He knows his high school sports. He knows how to write a story. So we'll be joining us, and he's going to talk a little bit of 5A football, talk a little bit of recruiting, and what's going to take for the Colorado Titans to win another state championship. As you can see, when we go through these brackets, Colorado's going to have a tough time because they got that team, Collinsville, that's been putting up points. So, hey, Colorado's going to have to put some work in to get to another gold ball. You guys can see we moved the gold ball up there on his own shelf. So soon as football's over, we'll be putting the wrestling and the basketball gold ball up there. But folks, like I said, before we get in there, Big E, what's going on, baby?
Not much, man. You know, just another week of work, school, all that good stuff, you know, just being a kid, young adult, growing up.
There's nothing wrong with that, Big E. Hey, you know, we get to shoot another show. We're in week 10. We're going to recap a little bit of week 10. You know, we're going to talk about some of the games that went on in week 10, but then we're going to jump into these playoffs, man. I kind of like it. I was kind of complaining and griping about, hey, everybody's getting in. But, dude, if you look at these brackets, man, it's like you get to fill out your own bracket and follow it. It's like the NCAA tournament, man.
It looks good.
It does.
Those brackets came out, and I was like, okay, I think I'm going to like this.
It's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Before we jump in and get RT on here, one game I want to kind of touch out. I want to give it out to little Blanchard. They went over and beat up on Tuttle, man. It was a good game. If you look at it, it was a 7-0 game. You can't ask for nothing better than that. The Dale City Eagles, they found a way to win their third game of the season.
And now they got in, I think it's the 4th or 5th seed.
Yeah, they're going to have a tough road. As we get in those brackets, you'll see that. One game I'm going to jump into before we bring on RT. What about those Bigsby?
The Bigsby Spartans over there on ESPN just totally made a fool of Booker T. Washington. And sorry, Booker T out there, I just called y'all a fool, but
it's all
good.
It is
what it is.
Hey,
that's keeping it 100.
Hey, that's keeping it 100. That's what you're doing. You're keeping it 100. But I got to say, man, watching Bigsby play on national TV, and you're watching a little Presley kid. The kid only had 2 offers at that time. I'm pretty sure after everybody watched that game, everybody and their mama's going to be offering the kid. The kid had an offer from Memphis, and I think the other one was from Kansas. Well, Presley, if you're listening to the show, watching the show, stay away from Kansas. Excuse me, Mike. I know that was kind of loud. Stay away from Kansas.
I can fix that in post. It's all good.
Man. I'm just telling you right now, man. I don't get me wrong. My boy Highshire's down there at Kansas, taking care of business, getting some carries. And, you know, but I'm just telling you right now, my boy Pollard's playing linebacker. I talked to his dad just the other day. It's been a rough season, but Kansas is young, and hopefully Les Miles can get them guys turned around. But right now, I'm just telling you, hey, Presley, you're going to have everybody knocking on your door when it's all over. I mean, because you're just a junior. You're the best player back in the state. You and probably the kid from Brazil over at Carl Albert. And, you know, we'll get a chance to talk to RT and find a little bit more about that
also,
kid.
His big brother this weekend got a touchdown for OSU.
Yes, he did. That number's kind of ugly, man. I mean, number 80, man, you figure kid with that kind of speed, man, you want to see him in a number. And he probably changed his number when, you know, somebody graduates. But
or he can make that number pretty.
Yeah, I guess he can, though. But, man, he look like old Ron Harper out there for old Dallas Cowboys, number 80.
And another former OK Preps, we had Jason Taylor get a touchdown, a scoop and score this weekend.
Carl Albert. That's one of RT's boys, man. Carl Albert. Yeah, he got a scoop and score, though. It's good to see that, man, because I know he's been kind of fighting getting some playing time here. You know, he's into his sophomore year. And you look at him, man, the kid's has already been in college for 2 or 3 years, and, you know, next year he'll be a junior. And guess what? He's almost done. Yeah. Just a few years ago, he was over at Carl Albert, you know, scoring touchdowns left and right. But, one of the biggest games I want to talk about real quick, too, is that how does Jones – I'm telling you right now, Guthrie, forgive me. If you're 5A – and you go get beat by a 218 Jones, everybody at 5A should vote you out of 5A. That's embarrassing to get beat by a 218 Jones. Great job, Coach Martin and these guys going over there beating up. I guess they came to your house and you beat them up, but there's no way a 5A team should go get beat by a 218. That's embarrassing. That is just flat out embarrassing. Should not happen. That's me.
And a team that looked promising this year. You know, Guthrie was looking good at the beginning of the season.
Man, I'll tell you right now, that's embarrassing, though. Folks, we'll come right back. We're going to let you hear from one of our sponsors real quick, and we'll be right back with RT Sherman, the man from CA that's been around for a while. So We'll be right back after these commercials. That's keeping it
100.
You tired of going out to your trash can, having to smell so bad? Well, no further. Call Spiffy Cans. He cleans, disinfects, sanitizes. 405-423-8824 or go to spiffycansok.com. Spiffy Cans, he's your man.
Spiffy Can, he's your man.
With 25 years experience in the industry, Line-X Customs OKC is your one-stop shop for all your vehicle accessory needs. Specializing in spray-in liners, lifts, levels, wheels, tires, bed covers, and anything else you need to make your ride look and sound better. Call Eric and the boys at 405-778-8878.
100. Welcome back to Keeping It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports. I am on the phone with RT Sherman. Big RT Sherman, how you doing today?
Doing good, Big E. How you and Tony doing?
We're doing great, man.
Man, RT, like I told you, man, I've been up, got some fishing in, got back in town. E rolled up with shooting this show. We didn't get a chance to do it yesterday, but I kind of like the Monday night show. Gives everybody something to look forward. After talking Monday night football, get something to look forward to. Talk about, keeping it 100 on a Tuesday morning on your way to work. You get to listen to us. Check us out on Apple, Spotify, Anchor. If you really want to see our good-looking face, you can catch us out on that YouTube, baby. That's what we're doing. RT, what's going on, baby?
Well, I come to keep it more than 100. I want to keep it 1,000. Let's get it.
Wee. So RT, what's the word though? I saw your Titans pull off another victory. They only got one loss of the year, and that was to the Bigsby Spartans. But as far as 5A, they took care of business in 5A. So what's your chances you think of him getting another gold ball this year?
Well, I'm gonna have to agree with Cameron Jordan until someone knocks CA off. I got to ride with my Titans. I really got a lot of confidence in Mike Corley and the coaching staff. They have a real good system in place that Gary Rose left them with. It's like a good oil machine. You don't make too many changes, so just a few tweaks. And if everybody can stay healthy, I believe those guys will take care of business in their drive for 5.
Drive for 5. I like that. Is that kind of like 5 burgers from Arby's or what? What is that, RT? Drive for 5.
Drive for 5 is, you look at your hand and you put 5 rings on it. That means that's 5 in a row.
Okay. I see. A lot of people can't say that, RT, but Carl Albert Titans can say that, right?
Yes, they can. And that would make I want to say it's 16th overall if they can pull it off. It won't be easy. The coaches is driving the message home that it will not be handed to you. Don't get too relaxed. So this week and next week, they've been turning it up there, getting them guys ready and prepared. We're not overlooking anyone.
So, RT, looking at the 5A bracket, I'm pretty sure you looked over and studied and probably filled it out already. What are you looking at? You got Noble on the top side up there. I'm sorry, you got El Reno on the top side. They get a bye. They're either going to face Noble or Piedmont. You probably look at more of a Piedmont winning that game, right?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And then at the same time, like you said, that with El Reno, we really haven't had a chance to see them. And they may be one of those that a lot of people are sleeping on. That may, squeak by.
Yeah.
So you just never know.
Yes, sir. They got the quarterback got hurt at the beginning of the year. Now he's back. And, you can tell ever since he's been back, they've been kind of on a winning streak. Piedmont runs that option, So if El Reno, they get the bye. So I'm pretty sure Piedmont will probably knock off Noble. So it's going to go El Reno, about 2 weeks to prepare for that option. Because, that option is kind of hard to prepare for, that moving, jumping, going, and all the stuff they kind of do to kind of get you going one way, then they come back the other way. So, I got a chance to watch Carl Albert play them, and Carl Albert just kind of put a hand on them. And that was a team that kind of knocked Carl Albert off their winning streak. So you knew Carl Albert was going to let that happen again. So who was another team that you could see in 5A that might give Carl Albert a run for their money, though?
Well, you just never really know. On any given day, anyone can win. On the other side, I want to say Collinsville looked pretty tough. And then you have Bishop Kelly, who I believe beat McGinnis earlier in the year.
Yes, sir, they did.
So you really don't know. So the way it looks like now you have Carl Albert going up against Ardmore. If they take care of business, more than likely they'll play Bishop Kelly. And then if they take care of business there, I think that they'll see Collinsville in the semis.
That's going to be a tough game. That can be easily be the state championship game in RT if you're looking at it. It seems they kind of got, I know Bishop McGinnis got the loss against you guys this year, And it seems like they're sitting on the other side, looking kind of pretty though, man. You look at who they're going to go against. You know, they might run up against Kawita, but I mean, not knocking Kawita, but you know, it looks kind of a little bit more promising for Bishop McGinnis than it is for you guys, because you got like I say, on your side, you got a Bishop Kelly, you got a Collinsville, you know, you know, you got Guthrie on your side. Not saying Guthrie's going to do anything, because I mean, they just kind of, you know, dropped an egg last weekend over there against Jones, man. It's kind of embarrassing, you know, you being a 5A guy, and you kind of see that, you're kind of like, what is going on, to see them drop against a Jones 2A football team, you know. So I don't know if Guthrie got some guys out or what, but I'm just telling you right now, that's not a good statement of trying to go into the playoffs, right?
Well, that's the gift and the curse of 2020. It's terrible that they dropped it, but since they're letting everybody and their mama into the playoffs, then, I mean, they got another chance. And, you know, if we move from 5A to 6A, I've said it before, it's been a tough year for Dale City in basketball. They had the team that looked like they was going to win it all, and then they're still kind of been hurting a little bit throughout the year, but they have so many studs and athletes that I believe that they're going to be the ones that's going to shake up some things, where because of this new format, they got a second chance. So hopefully they'll make the best out of it and represent Mid-Dale.
Well, you know, RT, I hear what you're saying on that, but you know, this funny thing, they made that move at quarterback and kind of moved Kobe back to the running back position, but the quarterback they put there, he ended up getting hurt, breaks his foot. So guess what? Kobe's back at quarterback. So I think that that 4-leaf clover that they had over Dale City just kind of crumbled. I just kind of see them winning out, because they're going to either take on either take on I want to say Booker T. Washington in the second round.
Yeah,
so
let me go look.
You know,
look
that's going to be tough though. You know, I don't know if they take on Booker T. I think they're going to take on Bigsby. My fault, folks. I'm getting it right. You know, you got all these brackets. Like,
if they can beat Parker City, they'll be taking on Bigsby in the quarterfinal.
They'll be taking on BP.
Yeah, that's going to be tough though. You know, I mean, you know, lose your quarterback that you kind of had in there, and you move Kobe, because I just think when Kobe was at quarterback, I just think he had it. I mean, when he was at running back, I just think he had it going, because now he's running downhill. He ain't got to look for nobody throwing the ball. He's doing his thing, running downhill. So now putting him back at quarterback, I think you're going to get the same results, man. As you can see, they started the season off 0-5. Then when he moved to running back, they got 3 wins. He's got a good win last week over Lawton to get the third win of the season. And, you know, for Coach Dunn to have that much talent, you know, and then one of his linebackers, the guy that signed with Boise State, got kicked off the team. So, you know,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, got some things that's going kind of wild over there, man. And I just tell you right now, if Dunn think he had a tough season this year, it's going to be even tough, because he's losing a lot of those guys. So, hopefully he can get it going, him and Coach Jones, because I tell you right now, the last thing you want to see is a good program like that kind of tank. And right now, it's going to be tough. Like I said, even who they play first round, Ponca City. Even Ponca City is going to be a tough game for them, because, you know, Ponca City gave Chata everything they wanted. So, but RT, you know, what else going on, man? I mean, you get a chance to see, you know, some great athletes over at Carl Albert, you know, week in and week out. And like I said before, bringing you on the show, I mean, you've been a guy that's been around sports and wrote sports stuff. So tell us a little bit about some of the kids over at Carl Albert that people might not know about.
Well, I don't know if they don't know about them or locally, but there's 2 kids over there that I truly believe has the size, the skill set, and even in the classroom, 4.0 students. And that is Kentrell Bazell and Kobe Cruz. Let's start off with Bazell himself. In the last 2 years, last year and this year, what a lot may not know, he's a starting linebacker, and he plays backup to one of our better athletes that came through Carlisle, which is Javion Hunt, who is committed to Arkansas.
Yes, sir.
Now, you have this guy that's the starting running back. However, Bazell, you can't overlook him. Why? He's done led the team in rushing and touchdowns playing behind Javion.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Numbers and film don't lie.
No,
so
sir.
I don't understand why he doesn't have at least 1 or 2 D1 offers, and someone like Javion Hunt may have 15 plus. They're both great kids, both same size, same speed, but numbers and film don't lie. And eventually he'll get there. I just hope that, you know, like podcast shows like yourself is giving kids that's overlooked the platform to maybe get a little more exposure, to educate these parents how to build those relationships with these college coaches. But the Bazell kid is not a joke. And then transitioning from Bazell to Kobe Cruz, if you think about it, 6'2", 175, never leaves the field, wide receiver, DB, special teams probably. He's the only person in my entire life that I done seen have a pick 6 during a field goal attempt.
I remember watching that last year, man. That was crazy. I was watching that, and then it got featured on like some bigger overtime. Yeah, they featured it on their little segment that they got.
RT, let me ask you this question. I mean, we're sitting there talking about these two young men that ain't got no picks, and and I'm not hating on no school. And I mean, I even told the coach the other day, I said, hey, because I say something about your program doesn't mean I'm hating on you, because I'm gonna give you your props as much as I'm gonna say bad things. Not saying bad things, but say things that people don't like, because that's why it's called Keep It 100. It ain't called Keep It 50-50. It's called Keep It what?
100.
Keep it what?
100.
That's what we do here, RT. We keep it at 100. So I kind of scratch my head a lot, man, when I'm sitting back here and I'm getting ready for these shows and I'm seeing these kids getting offers from some of these schools, and I'm going to mention them Choctaw. I mean, they're doing something great out there. I don't know if it's Coach Carter, Coach Corbin, Coach Bryant, Coach Porter that came over from Carl Albert. Carl Albert guy that's came over there. Has got some, Division I stuff going. But, man, they're getting kids in school left and right. And, I mean, and last year they kind of put themselves on the map, going 8-4. And this year they got a chance to go a little bit better at 8-4. But, if you look at Choctaw, it's about 10 minutes away from Carl Albert. And you look at Midwest City, another 10 to 15 minutes away from Carl Albert. You look at Dell City, and you look at these three schools that's, Midwest City's played for a gold ball. Carl Albert's played for a ton of gold balls, and Dell City just got a bunch of athletes from basketball to track to football, girls basketball, whatever sport they got. Then you look at the school out here in Choctaw, just kind of start putting themselves on the map, and it seems like they got more offers with kids over there than they do with kids at Carl Albert. So that kind of makes me wonder, like, what is going on? I mean, you've been a guy that has an older son, and you have a younger son, and you went through the recruiting process. What do you think that Choctaw's doing that these other schools are not doing? Because I'm telling you right now, if I had to start it all over again, and my kids probably at Carl Albert or kids at Midwest City or Dell City or El Reno or Bishop McGinnis, I'm probably going to pack up and move to Choctaw, because, shit, he's getting everybody in school.
Yep.
Well, you know what, Tony? That's a great point. With Carl Albert winning 15 championships and on the drive for 5 to make that total of 16, I want to say since 2017, they maybe had one player that go Division I. But as of late, with the last 2 to 3 years, I have noticed that Choctaw has been getting a lot of Division I offers. And I don't know if it's the kids that's already been there or a few kids that's recently moved into the district. But whatever they're doing is working, because the ultimate goal is to not only get the kids through high school, but to get them to the next level. And at the end of the day, it's about getting that degree, right? So whatever it takes. I know that puts a lot of pressure on the coaches. If we use Corley at Carl Albert as an example, what people don't really realize is a lot of variables to it. Coach Corley is also the athletic director. So he's in charge of coaching his football team, all the other sporting activities there, and he's also a husband and a father. So his time is very limited. But I would like for each school to share their best practices with each other so that everyone can get the same attention or knowledge, the information needed to build those relationships with those coaches. My oldest boy, it was tough. He led the state in tackles, led his team in rushing and touchdowns, and ultimately got them a state championship along with a few others on the team. And he was first team All-State.
Bishop McGinnis, baby. Hey, I tell you right now, if he doesn't play running back that game, they don't win that state championship. That's hands down. Watch that game in the cold and the rain. He took over the game. Rabbit goes out. Rabbit's the starting tailback. Rabbit gets banged up the first quarter. RT goes both sides. And, I mean, the guy, he had, 2 rushing touchdowns. In the fourth quarter, he carried him by himself and ran the clock out by himself. So, sorry for interrupting you, but I remember that game like it was yesterday. That's keeping it 100. I appreciate it. Yes, sir.
And, he did all that while battling a sports hernia.
Yes,
but
sir.
Wow.
He himself, he did all of that, even placed in state in wrestling. Mm-hmm. And he still did not lock down a solid Division I offer. He basically went to Southwestern, D2, went there, and all of the coaches that had recruited him eventually got terminated, and so they left, and so he wasn't happy. Now, this is where I got to give Coach Corley some kudos. Coach Corley, if you go to him and say, hey, here's my goal, will you partner with me to get me there? I guarantee you he will not waste your time if you don't waste his time. Coach Corley made a call. Before you know it, RT's up there at OSU. Got him in there, and since then, he's been part of the team, and he gets a lot of playing time on special teams right now. He got a lot of linebackers ahead of him, some all-star linebackers. Malcolm Rodriguez, you got Amon, You got Devin Harper. You got Bundage. So they're loaded. All these guys are seniors, and he's just buying his time. And what's that quote? Hard work pays off when talent doesn't.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard.
There you go, Big E. Get me right. That's what it is, right there.
Yeah.
But I just kind of want to know what, like I said, you look at these teams and you look at, Brazil. I mean, I've got to see the kid play, a couple times in person and just kind of watching them, on TV and film. And you look at the guy, even in the Bigsby game, I kind of talked just, a few weeks with Big E about when I went to that Bigsby game, the kid was averaging about 20, 25 yards a pop. And it seems like he'll get down to the goal line, then we would bring in Hunt, not taking that from Hunt. But, if you look at it, if I'm a college coach, and you got to think, I've coached some good kids and been around good kids, not taking that from Hunt. But if you watch Brazil, he runs through the pass, man. He's gonna hit you and make you feel it. And I feel like Hunt doesn't run like that. And I don't know what Hunt's going to play in college. Good luck to the kid, whatever he decides to do. But just watching those two kids, if I'm recruiting and I'm looking like, man, I can go get this number 45. This kid can play on special teams. He can play linebacker. He can play tailback. I mean, he can even play quarterback. Yeah. But I'm just looking like, why is this kid not getting the offers? But then I see these kids over at Choctaw. I mean, they're handing out offers left and right, man, with – and I know when you're winning, but people say when you're winning, people come. I had this discussion with a dad the other day. He's like, when you're winning, people come. But Carl Albert's winning. Midwest City's winning. Yeah. And some of these kids that were at Midwest City or at Dell City wasn't playing for them schools, and it wasn't starting over there. When they go to Charlton, they're starting and they're getting offers. So obviously somebody's done a good job, like I said, coaching them up. Because I said one of the kids I will say over at Choctaw is really good ball player is the Deshaun kid, Deshaun Brown.
Deshaun Brown, yeah.
Great defensive end. He kind of reminds you a little bit of the kid over at Oklahoma State. It came from Santa Fe.
Trace Ford.
Yeah, Trace Ford. Kind of remind you of him a little bit. But, that kid, to me, he's a D1 prospect. He's probably going to have every offer in the States.
And the kid's grown a lot from last year. I came through that system, played at Choctaw. I watched him. I think last year was his first year playing there. And you just look at him from last year to now. The growth is tremendous. He's gotten bigger. He's gotten faster. I mean, that kid's going to succeed anywhere that he goes. So,
but I mean, like I said, another thing though, Archie, you look at that and you look at Bigsby, a state championship team. It's one of the last 5 of the 6 of the small 6A2. They don't have that many kids going. So you wonder like, what are they doing? Because I'm telling you, you're gonna keep getting kids coming in here, and they're gonna end up being a big powerhouse. Because why should I go to Midwest City if they're not putting kids in college? I mean, Midwest City only got the one kid. The McHale kid is going D1. I mean, they got some kids over there. So I don't know if they're just doing a better job getting recruited because, like I said, Brazil should have, and me and you both speaking, should have about 10 to 15 offers. Kobe should have a small Division I offer. Every D2 in Oklahoma should be touching it. And, folks, we're not just trying to touch on these 2 kids. We're talking about there's a lot of kids out there that's not getting a deal. Are the coaches not doing their job? And we're not trying to call no coach out, so don't take it wrong. But I'm asking. So I know people's going to look at the show and be like, man, I'm not being hard. I'm just asking because I know at the end of the day, I have 3 kids in college right now. And it ain't no cheap deal, dude.
Right.
It ain't cheap paying books. And, one got, a good scholarship, so his money's pretty much taken care of. But I got 2 other ones that's in there, and you got to help them out a little bit. But I know there's parents that ain't going to be able to do that. And I'm telling you right now, folks, don't jump on that Oklahoma promise because it's only for 2 years. About that time, your baby's in there for 2 years, and you think he got something good. And guess what? They've already got somebody else to come in. Guess what? They moved your kid on, so now he ain't got no money. Because I know some of those fall Division II will tell you this and this and that. But when it gets down to his junior year, and then you got a bill, and you're like, I thought my baby had a full ride. Oh, no, we gave that money to somebody else. And, I mean, RT, that's how they do in some of these Division IIs.
Yeah, it's tough. I want to say that they only get 36 full athletic scholarships, and then they try to piece it up with the academic side or grants or whatever you qualify is based on your parents' income. So when you get parents like yourself, Tony Johnson, that works for a living, it kind of bites you in the rear where you like, okay, I've kind of set the example for my kids to go out and be a provider. And then when you do that, and then they ask you for your taxes, and they say, well, unfortunately, you don't qualify.
No, you don't.
So now I can't get an athletic scholarship and my parents make too much. The only option now is to go out and get a loan. But then again, you're getting a loan to play Division II football.
Yep.
And you're not promised
playing
time. And then if you get hurt, now you're stuck with these student loans. And then what? Football only takes you so far. So my advice is to be very sure if that's the route that you want to go. if you see yourself getting a degree at that university without sports, go right ahead because you're going to have to get it anyway, right?
Yes, sir.
If you really are not sure about it and you're still trying to live this football dream, it's not worth it because football only takes you so far. So that's the message I'm driving with my youngest son. And I did it with my oldest. But sometimes you got to let kids figure it out themselves. And fortunately, my oldest actually didn't have to go through what everyone else has been. He's been really blessed. So they've been taking care of him up there, and we really appreciative of that.
That's good. That's a good deal, though, because like I said, some of you guys are going to miss out, though, because most time you start getting your offers pretty much what you start your junior years when you start getting your big offers. And Johnny's done everything. I mean, from his sophomore year, he played a lot as a freshman, did he not?
In the playoffs, they pulled him up as a freshman.
Okay.
The kid is a monster. He's a beast. Tony, he has over 4 points. It's like a 4.2. So if they're looking at scores and academics, he got that. You're looking at size, he got that. You're looking at a kid that does not display any behavioral problems. He has that. He's a true leader. So his time is coming. I don't know what it's going to take to get him out there. But again, shows like yours and Big E's, we appreciate you guys for speaking of these kids that are overlooked, because I wish you guys was there when my oldest was going through there. I would have loved it.
Somebody else kind of told me that the other day. They said, man, you should have did this with your own boys because, and I don't like to speak on my kids because their time is gone,
Well, if you won't, I'll speak on them. So let's talk about it. Gabe is a monster. Look at the kid at K-State. He's 5'5", 160, dripping wet, right? And then you look at Wes Welker, the great back in the day. Well, if you look at the size, Gabe has the size. Gabe has the speed. Gabe is a state champion in wrestling. He played DB and receiver. He should have gotten offers in football. I've seen the kid go through little league, middle school, high school. He's a dog. Never complains. He just results. Again, numbers and film does not lie.
No, he stands out.
He stands out. But you just never know what the schools are looking for. Like,
and that's
like at K-State. Maybe that I don't know the kid's name, but he's very small, very talented, real shifty, kind of like BP at Bigsby. You just don't know what they have. So he may be able to play Division I, but the time of the year that he came out
might not be the right time.
Might not be the right time.
It's funny you say that because we talked. He came over. I was kind of happy to see him. He came and visited me on Saturday. It's always good when your kid comes home and visit you and hang out and get a snack out of your cabinets. Ain't no place like home. But we kind of talked, and then one of his coaches reached out to him, and he said he kind of missed football. And, we kind of talked, but like I said, the biggest thing at the end of the day, I just want him to get his degree and get a good job because I went that kind of with my brother Jonah, man. He played with Vernon Maxwell and Eric Gooden and a lot of these guys, and they were blue chips. Back in the day they call them blue chips. Now they call them 5 stars. And it's so funny how the times has changed and the names has changed. But these guys are all blue chips. Cato and a lot of these guys that he played with were big time football players. And not saying these guys didn't make it, but at the end of the day, my brother can say he did real well for himself. He got a degree, got 2 degrees, he's away from having his doctorate degree if he want to go back and get it. And then he says, hey, man, it ain't all about football. It's good to use football to get your education, but sometimes it ain't all about football. I played a little small college ball at Bethel, came back home. My boys came to me today, and I know the same way you feel, RT. If your boys came, if he came and said, Dad, you know what, I'm done, you're not going to be upset. Because what, it's not for everybody, and you see in RT, you can speak on it at the Division I level, and I know a lot of kids that go Division I, but at the end of the day, they don't get a degree because they're only taking 12 hours just to get by, and so then they think they're going to be there forever. But when you get to that 4th and 5th year, them coaches ain't going to keep giving you money. You're going to have to move on. Yep. So one of the biggest thing is, like I tell my kid, get your hours, get your degree, graduate, let's move on, because I don't want you being in college 6-7 years thinking, oh man, I just want to be an athlete. No, you gotta get out of the real world. And a lot of these kids they're not getting coached and taught that because At the end of the day, it's a business. Yep. Those coaches are going to use you as long as they can use you. That goes from high school to junior high, even little league. You know how little league is too, RT. We both coach
yes, sir.
You want to get that kid from the Bears and bring him onto your team to make your team better. Man, you're going to promise him everything he got. Then when he gets there, guess what? Oh, now I can go get Johnny. Johnny's coming over, so I'm moving this kid here to there. Same thing goes in high school. They tell you what you want to hear for so long. I love you. Oh, junior year. Oh, I got Tommy. Tommy's a freshman. I heard the coaches, man, I'm going to say this real quick. We'll move on. I heard a coach tell me one time, I never forget this, man. It made me think of my kids. And he was saying about a Dell City kid. He said, why not use that younger kid? And I kind of scratched my head and I was like, why? He said, why not use the young one? I got him for a few more years. So that was telling me right then and there, he was done. Yeah. With your older kids, I'm looking what I got coming up. Right. Everybody's always looking what they got coming. My wife always tells me all the time. I say, I want to get a new house. Well, why we need a new house? Well, everybody else got a new house. Nah, baby, we fine right here. Yep. And that's the thing. You always want something you can't have, but people's always wanting, let's go get this, let's go get this. But you already got something good. Yeah. But we ready to go get something else. But, RT, like I said, man, I really want to kind of talk about that. Let's talk about Kobe Crew a little bit because he's another kid that should be getting recruited. I know he don't get a lot of touches. I know if he's probably, I know Ben kind of spreads the ball around. And lucky Kobe's at a spot more that they throw the ball before because Carl Albert really didn't throw the ball. It was quarterback, draw. Stevie Thompson when he was there and, Jake Bermuda and a lot of those guys that played at Carl Albert, it was more of a quarterback draw. It wasn't so much, throw the ball. At least Kobe's getting a chance to throw the ball. And, I know he's got a quarterback that only lost one game or two games in his career. And Kobe's one of his top receivers, but I don't feel like they get the ball downfield to Kobe. In a Bigsby game, he could have scored all day long. If you watch Booker T and Bigsby the other day, Booker T could throw the ball down the field all day long, but, they didn't have great receivers. Well, Carl Albert got a great receiver in Kobe. The kid's 6'2", 175. The kid can run. He runs track. Kid can jump, play basketball. Why are we not getting the ball to him? I know you can't answer that, but I'm going to answer. I want somebody to answer me that question because I think that might be the difference of them beating Collinsville. You're going to have to put up points if you want to beat Collinsville.
Yeah.
You can see
been putting up 50-plus games week in, week out. You're going to have to do something.
So, well, I kind of look at it. The coaches is I'm going back to boxing. Muhammad Ali. They hitting you with the rope-a-dope. I think they got big plans for Kobe coming into the playoffs. He's one of the fastest, if not the fastest, on the team. They're going to get him deep downfield. He's about to show everybody why he should have more offers than what he has currently. There's a lot of D1 schools off the record that are really in his inbox and sending him text messages.
That's good.
But we haven't had any that really lock him in or give him that shot. But his time is coming. He just got to continue to stay healthy, continue to work hard, be the leader that he has been these last few years. And like I said, they're going to hit him deep because they're going to need him downfield. He'll outrun anyone, outjump anyone. I'm very confident in that program and them making sure that Kobe gets what he needs because just like Kobe needs the team needs him, and together collectively, they're on their way to the Drive for Five.
Drive for Five, baby. I feel like I'm about to go to Arby's after this show and grab me 5 Arby's sandwiches, baby. That's what I feel like. Man, RT, man, it's really cool to have you on, man. I know you know so much about sports, and it's good to talk to somebody, like I said, you're humble about your Titans, but you also give it up to other teams too. So, looking at some of the, before we let you go, I want you to kind of talk about, 6A, the 6A2 small, who you kind of see winning that. You got Bigsby, probably the number 1 team. Stillwater showing everybody what they can do by beating up on everybody. Chata goes to the east side this year, finishes the number 2 district team. Only lost to Bigsby 24-13. Yeah. You said Dell City, but I think Dell City's gonna have a long shot because they got to go through that Bigsby road to get there, and they can knock Bigsby off. And you still got Millwood City, and you got Putnam City North. Who do you think can win the gold ball in that area?
Until they get beat, I gotta go with Bigsby, man. That BP, he's a stud. He's a highlight reel. Every time you watch him, he's a cheat code. It's not even fair. The key to that, man, you got to get him before he gets started. So although I'm not coaching football and I'm not a genius or an expert, but you best better believe, ball or no ball, I would have to have somebody spying him and tagging him every single play. If you're gonna get these 5 touchdowns, you're going to be bumped and bruised tomorrow in treating it because there's no way that I can keep letting you embarrass me and my squad. It's not even fair, man. It's sad.
It is. It really is sad. I got a chance to start doing this show, Keeping It 100. I got a chance to get it, kind of cool with one of the Bigsby coach, Chris. His name's Coach Chris. He coaches the safeties over there at Bigsby. We kind of text and, kind of talk, and he gave me an E. Thank you, Coach Chris.
Give us a 5-star rating. We appreciate that.
Yeah, appreciate that a big time, because all we do is trying to get our show going up and going. As you can see, I know you can't see as RT, but when you go back and watch the show, we got the fireplace going now up in here. I'm still waiting my table. I know people keep saying, man, when are they going to get rid of that picnic table? We're sitting here with a picnic table. My wife got it ordered with all the storm stuff. It's supposed to be over the 10th, so hopefully I have my new table by the 10th. But like I said, we're still going to shoot here. We're still going to shoot at other location. But, just to kind of, get it going, for that coach to kind of text me and watch the show. And that thing is,
that's
we're
nice.
That is. I mean, we're just trying to get everybody's name out there. We're not going to stop with football. When football's over, like I said, we're going to, girls and boys basketball, do wrestling. And then when baseball and track comes, we'll go out and do some track and baseball stuff too. Because like I said, the state of Oklahoma, we need to be just like the state of Texas. I mean, everybody talks about Texas, but we should have the same element here. And I know I know you talk a lot to Jordan, and we're not trying to knock none of those guys off. We're just trying to get a piece of the pie and get people's names out there. That's why we do this show, man. Like I said, I love it. Big E loves it. It's good to talk to somebody like you that wants to talk, high school sports. So it's a blast to kind of have this though. Anything else, Big E, before we finish up?
Nah, man. I just want to appreciate RT coming on here. I've never talked to him, never met him before, but he sounds like a smart guy. He knows what he's talking about. It was a pleasure having you on, talking with you.
Same. Likewise. Like I said, I appreciate both you guys. Your show is really good. You actually give an unbiased platform so that not only do you educate the student athletes or able to maybe help the coaches out in some way or another, more importantly, you give the parents knowledge and a voice to maybe, share some of their frustrations based on their lack of knowledge. And like you said, when the coaches hear that, they can then say, you know what? I didn't know that my coaches or my parents were not aware of this. So maybe I can have a meeting and partner with them, and together collectively, whether it's the coaches, parents, student athletes, or your show, we can continue building on what you guys have started. So I appreciate you guys. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for joining us and keeping it 100, Oklahoma.
Keeping it 1,000, Tony Johnson, Big E.
We appreciate you, RT. You have a great evening, sir. To everybody,
all right.
Hi. Thank you.
Will do.
Thank you.
You too.
Thank you. Folks, we were joined with RT, Big RT, man. Like I said, the guy's been around for a while. I got a chance to know him. He wrote for the Daily Oklahoma. He's done a lot of sports writing, wrote for the Midwest City Sun some. So the guy knows his sports. He knows what he's talking about. And it was good to bring him on to be a bias. Like I said, he's a Carl Albert guy, but, he's all about.
Yeah, but he knows what he's doing, writing with, that's ultimately what I'm trying to go for, trying to get a job with radio, newspaper, TV, whatever, that's my dream. And, him doing that, I'm definitely going to have to get back in touch with you. Hopefully you watch this. Maybe get your contact info just to kind of know ins and outs of that. But, you can tell he's a smart guy doing that. Even though he's a Carl Albert guy, I think he could go and he knows his stuff. He
was a bomber, though. He was a bomber before he was a tight. His kids were tights,
okay.
though. So we give him some love. You got that bomber magic love in him. So, Big A, let's talk a little bit about Big 6A. We'll kind of go through these brackets real quick before we end the show and kind of give our little thoughts and who you think is winning. You kind of name some of the teams off, and we'll kind of go from there.
Man, you got Union. At the 2 seed, they finished at the 2 seed. They're playing Enid. Enid's a team that recently moved up to 6A1. It was either last year or this year. They just moved up there. Union's been one of those teams that have been competing every year in, year out. Every year they're up there. They're in the top 2 in their side. So I think they'll come away with that. They'll move on to the next round to play Broken Arrow. Broken Arrow's got Putnam City Original.
Poor Putnam City. They might as well just stay at home and just say, hey, you know what?
You saw a couple teams do that. In 6A2, you had U.S. Grant. They fell out.
Hill.
Yeah, Capitol Hill,
PC
Classen. Those teams, they just they're just like, you know what?
I think they're going to play a bowl game. Talked to Coach Edmonds the other day. I think he said that him and one of the other teams, Capitol Hill, U.S. Grant, whoever is going to play a bowl game. Maybe on a Thursday night, maybe have a sports animal or franchise come out and kind of do that game.
Nice.
Good luck to those guys, man.
Yeah.
The ones that did opt out, I know it's tough. It's it's a long season. It's been a crazy season, the 2020 season. You don't know what even now these teams, man. I mean, they're right now. You got to be walking on eggshells because you don't know when it's going to be your last game. I mean, if you go play a team, I went out to Bethel last week. Shot that show with Coach Ginn, and got to see those guys. They was going to be their senior night, and they were supposed to play Purcell. Purcell comes down with COVID, so then they're supposed to play Holandville. Holandville comes down with COVID. They only had like 18 kids. I'm sitting there talking to him before we even went out and practiced, and he was kind of talking, man, how do I tell these kids? And he didn't tell the kids until after practice, and I kind of shot the show and kind of talked a little bit, but he didn't tell the kids after practice because, senior night, to get to paint the uniforms on the field, and that was pretty cool. I mean, you can't do that on turf. So it's one thing about having grass.
Yeah, having a grass field, you can do that.
You can kind of paint your field, your number on the field. But, kind of watching those guys, and like I told Coach Ginn, I'm really excited about what he's done with that program. If anybody's followed Bethel football, Wildcats for the last few years, they haven't been very good. Coach Ginn has taken them from the bottom. What's that one song?
Started from the bottom, now
you're at the top. Yeah. So got to give a big shout out to him and what he's done with the Bethel Wildcats. So good luck to them going to the playoffs, and we'll kind of talk about them here in a little bit when we get to their bracket. But one thing he was saying is like if the offensive lineman, from the other team gets COVID or gets gets sick,
right?
His whole D line got a quarantine.
Right.
For 14 days. So, man, that is scary because think about it. If you go out there and you beat somebody and it's, oh, man, I don't like this team. So, guess what? Hey, man, one of my kids got it. So, now you got to call that coach. Now, he don't get to finish season. So, guess what? I guess the next team gets to go. So,
I don't know how that's going to work in the playoffs. Say we have that situation. I mean,
I hope we don't have to go to that situation.
Yeah, I really hope not.
Because I just don't think.
Hopefully a reschedule, because playoffs, you're playing for a championship. You're playing for that gold ball. You can't cancel one of those games, and just leave that team hanging, Because let's say Bixby goes ahead. They have, God forbid, knock on wood, this doesn't happen. But let's say Bixby next week, they'll either play Ponca City or Dale City. Let's say somebody comes down with COVID and they got to, reschedule. Hopefully, Bixby's the or I won't say surefire, but it's looking like they're going to win another one this year.
I'm not going to say they're not. Coach Chris, love you following us, keeping up with us. I think Stillwater's a team. I think if you can, and I know we watched Presley on TV the other day. Forgive me. Got caught up talking fast. But you got a chance to watch him on TV the other day against Booker T. And Booker T's one of the fastest teams probably in the state with a bunch of great athletes and got kids going to play college ball too. And, he just ran by those guys like they were standing still. The kid catches a 2-yard little dump, and he takes it 90-some yards. So I think Stillwater can play with him. It's going to be back and forth. But I don't know if Stillwater would knock off the Yellow Jackets.
I talk about Chalks all the time. I was graduated from there, played under Coach Corbin, and played around all those guys. But if that defensive line is able to shut down that run game and get in the backfield like they've been doing the past few weeks, they could hang with Stillwater.
Well, I'll tell you this though, Big E. They got a chance to get some guys back. They might get RJ back. Chase might come back and play. He's walking around now. You got.
I wouldn't count on that though.
I'm just saying. But think if they did get Chase back.
They could somehow get Chase back.
You got the Terrell kid at slot, get Chase outside. I tell you, Ziegler had probably one of his best games in his high school career was last weekend. Yeah. Still's not really turning the ball over. The defense, like I said, it's playing lights out. Yeah. So
one thing that Coach Corbin always said playing under him, he said we need to be playing our best ball going into Week 10. Yeah. And that's what they're doing right now. They're playing their best ball. They're clicking on all cylinders.
But hey, wait! Before you get going, they got to bye.
They do got a bye week.
You got to go play against PC North, and PC North has been one of those another nemesis for the Yellow Jackets. The last few years, you guys that played them, man, they beat you pretty good both times handily. Yeah. PC North's not gonna come in. PC North was a team that played in Big 6A, and now they're down to 6A2. Right. And the only two losses they got this year is to Midwest City and to Stillwater, two of the better teams in the state. Right. So I just tell you, you got to play. You can't go out there and turn the ball over. You can't go out there and get those unnecessary penalties. And stuff like that.
You got to play clean. You got to play clean.
And hopefully everybody's healthy. I know Jordan got banged up a little bit the week before though. But you can't count none of these teams out because I heard Bobby Clean kind of said something on his tweet today. Thank you for the next another opportunity. It's a new season. Right. Well, everybody's 0-0 now, baby.
Yeah,
everybody's. Everybody is having won a game, haven't lost a game. Doesn't matter what your record was in regular season. You could be getting kids back that's been hurt. You get this extra season. Yeah. A lot of these kids was like, hey man, no matter what we fall at, we got to go play ball anyway. Yep. But back to Big 6A. Who do you see winning it?
Man, we've been talking about them all year. Owasso.
But Owasso's scores have been kind of low lately though. So Santa Fe kind of had last week they had a little scare, man. They played somebody. They were getting beat most of the game and came back. I think it was Norman was beating them most of the game, and they came back and beat them at the very end. But Norman had Santa Fe down, so
close game, 31-42.
That's what I'm saying. But Norman was winning the whole game, so I don't know what the deal is with that with Santa Fe though. Man, they're hot and cold though. So hopefully, like you said, these teams are playing their best ball going into right now. You're in week 11. It ain't no turning back now, baby. Right. Either it ain't another week. You win, you move on. You lose, you go to the next sport. Hopefully, basketball, wrestling, or whatever you're going off season is ready for you. So I'm gonna be like you. I'm gonna pick Owasso to probably win it. 6A, 2 small. Who you going with Stillwater? You going with Bigsby?
I'm gonna have to. I'm with RT there. Until somebody can beat Bixby, I'm gonna have to go with Bixby.
Well, I'm gonna slice it in half. I think it's gonna be either Stillwater or Choctaw playing them in the championship, and so I got a few weeks to kind of think about it. So it's gonna be one of them.
We'll see, man. I'm gonna try to get out to some of these games. If a big game that I'm ready that I want to see is Collinsville versus Carl Albert.
I will make that game, and when you can sidelight that game.
Hopefully we get that matchup. It's looking like we're going to, but that's one game that I've been waiting.
I tell you right now, Luke and the boys, we might get him on, here in a week or so and talk to him because I'm telling you, he's looking good. He has to go to Tequita and El Reno to get to the championship. That's the easiest bracket. I'm telling you, that's the easier side than having to go through, what Carl Albert's going to have to go to Bishop Kelly and also go through Collinsville. And you're looking at those teams, man. I mean, Bishop Kelly ain't no slack, man. They're a pretty good team. I think it's wide open, man. In 5A, man. I'm just telling you right now. But if you slip up and do something wrong, I'd like to give a little shout out to Coach over at Shawnee. His first year coaching over there. Sexton, Coach Sexton, I know he was over at Muskogee last year, the defense coordinator, got the head coaching job at Shawnee, and guess what? He gets in the playoffs, man. So great job with him, doing a great job over at Shawnee. 4A, let's go down to 4A. Who we looking at in 4A?
4A. Get this bracket pulled up here.
There we go.
So you got Weatherford with a first round bye. They coached up the 1 seed. Wagner with the 1 seed.
I think Wagner's the team to beat in 4A, man. I kind of put that in my notes. I think Wagner's the team to beat in 4A. I think they're going to be the team that can do it. I think everybody else is kind of, holding on, trying to get there. But I think you'll see Wagner in the 4A and the 4A department. Who else is tough over there in 4A, do you see?
Man, Poto over there, they've been good the past few years over there in 4A.
I think they got a good quarterback though. Yeah. They set a lot of records this year. So I mean, it's one of those little towns like that, man. Everybody comes out. That's what you like about the playoffs, man. I hope they kind of open up a little bit more and let more people in because I'll tell you right now, man, it's nothing to do right now but to go to a high school. The weather's been great, man, for high school football. I think last Friday night
last week was amazing.
Just amazing. Even the rest of this week is going to be good if they got a game. I'll tell you, the teams that has those buys, I know it's good, but it's also bad because you take a week off. And to me, I think
you ain't taking a week off. You're in the playoffs. You're going to be out there practicing.
But I'm saying, though, playing, having that same chemistry or going, timing. You take a week off, you don't have a game. Think of it. For the last 8-9 weeks, you've been playing constantly football. Now you take a week off. A lot can happen in a week, man. Your timing gets off because you're not going to go as hard as this week as you are next week because right now you don't know who you're going to play.
Right.
So you don't know who the game field for. I'm pretty sure coaches know, hey, this team's going to win. We're going to start prepping for this game. Yep. But you just never know, man. It's the playoffs. Anybody can win. Anybody can lose. It's either win or go home, baby.
Yeah. Bye week, that should be your cleanup week. Anything that you got that you need to clean up, you got to clean that up because at that time
you shouldn't be cleaning nothing up, baby. We're in week 11. What are you cleaning up?
There should be.
What are you cleaning up? You should be ready, rocking and rolling. You should know every play in the back of your hand. You should know everything. You in week 11. If you got something to clean up, man, that means
playing football for the past 4 years. You're not going to be perfect going in the playoffs.
Man,
you're not.
You better be perfect.
No team is going to be perfect, absolutely 100% perfect going into the playoffs.
I like that.
There's
100%.
always room for improvement. And that's something that I've lived by my whole life, you know? If I'm really good at something, I'm not good enough. I need to improve. There's always room for improvement.
Preach it to me, E. You fired up on the money.
There's always something you can prove on. You know, you got a play that, you know, you've been trying to get into your offense, hasn't really been executing it well. Execute it. You know
what I don't see? You know what I don't see a lot, man? And this is something we used to run back in the day a lot. 2-minute offense.
Yeah.
No one runs a 2-minute offense no more.
Yeah, they're not running you know, the tempo.
The tempo, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I like you be on the ball. Let's go.
Yeah.
I think you run people out of the gym when you do that. It's like
where's out the defense? You know, I remember early before man, I always forget his name.
Coach Stallard.
Yeah, Coach Stallard. You know, at Choctaw we kind of tried to run that. And, you know, it'd wear defenses
out.
You know,
I'm just telling you right now.
To the line.
Getting guys in and off the field, though. Let's look at 3A. 3A. I'm going to pick, is it Millwood in 3A?
Millwood, you know, you got Heritage Hall. They've always been good. They've been good year in and year out.
I don't think Millwood's 3A no more. I think they went down to 2A.
Holland Hall was playing good. Man, what was that matchup they had just a few weeks ago? I think it was like the game of the week. And somebody ended up winning big time, and I just can't remember. It was either Holland Hall. It was Holland Hall and Verdigris, I believe, was the matchup there.
Lincoln Christian got the number 1 seed on the bottom. On the bottom, you got Heritage Hall at the top. I mean, they'll meet up in the semifinals, and then on the other side, you got. Oh man, that's funny. Kingston. I was just at Kingston today.
Oh really?
Yeah, that's where I went strike fishing at today.
Yeah. Back when I was saying about Holland Hall, you know, they went in to that Verdigris game. It was the game of the week. A lot of people was calling it that. It was, you know, 2 of the top teams in 3A. Holland Hall just goes out there and obliterates Verdigris. Verdigris. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm going to pronounce it how I want to. But, you know, they came out there and mopped the floor with them. You know, so I think Holland Hall has a good chance at coming out and winning in 3A. You know, you go against one of the top teams and you beat them by a lopsided score like that. I mean, you know, they're going to be a contender. Another one, you know, Lincoln Christian, they've been playing good all year. I'm pretty sure they were the top team in 3A this year.
Seems like they're going to have to go to looks like they're going to have to go to Heritage Hall to get to the championship, though. Yeah. That could be the championship, though. That's the thing about it, though. You lose one game in district, then you get put on the opposite side, and a team that you're probably way better than is going to get a cakewalk, and you got to go through a tough team like Heritage Hall to get your championship.
Right.
It's probably the championship probably should be Heritage Hall and Lincoln Christian for the championship, though. So 2A, I think that 2A bracket is big and wide open, man.
I mean, Heritage Hall versus Lincoln Christian would be a good matchup for the state championship. They're both on the same side of the bracket.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay, so that semifinal?
Yeah, the semifinals, it should be your championship game, but it's going to be your semifinal game.
Yeah.
You know, 2A, I think 2A is just, woo, that's a big bracket, man. That's 6 weeks of football, man. 6 weeks of football. That's trying to stay healthy, keep people not getting sick.
That's almost a whole nother season.
That's a whole nother season. You're exactly right, man. I mean, I'm telling you right now, you know, you got Oklahoma Christian, the team, man. Their team is undefeated, man. They've had a heck of a year, man. And you know, Rocky's kind of told me to go out there and interview those guys, man. But you got some teams, man. You got some teams over there, man.
This is a month. I'm looking at this 2A bracket. It's a month long playoff bracket.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna be playing all the way to the end of December, man. They're gonna be playing into Christmas, man. You got Bethel, got Comanche, man. I mean, hopefully, you know, coach can get his team going. Coach again. I mean, he got Comanche first round. Then he'll end up seeing Marlowe the second round. You know, the number 1 seed. So hopefully he can get those guys going in the right direction. But I'm just telling you, man, you're right, man. This bracket is kind of like a college.
See, that's where I was like, kind of when they said that everybody's going to be in there, I was like, man, you got 2A. They got a whole bunch of teams in there. How is that going to work out?
It's like Jones,
looking at it
man.
right now. Yeah,
I mean, you're looking at Jones, man. I mean, they're going to have to go through. You know, they're going to have to go to Washington to get to the championship, man. I mean, it's tough, man. Good. It really is. Yeah. You know, on the very top, you know, you got Christian Heritage. You know, that school I went out there and seen get little ball club. You got Castor Hall on the very top. So I mean, Jones got a tough gig to get there, but Coach Martin to get those boys in the right direction and get them there. So I mean, I think high school football is going to be really great. The playoffs is going to be fun. I know I kind of griped about everybody getting in, but I'm kind of excited to do this bracket and have it filled out. And folks, for the next 4 to 5 weeks until this is over, we'll keep talking high school football. Next week we'll have a special guest. I'm gonna have Mike Lester on. He's a referee for high school football. Just kind of talk to him and see what it's like being a ref. Going against calls and parents and stuff like that. Because we always talk about the players and the coaches. Let's talk to a ref and see what it's like, man. I'm pretty sure he gets booed, and I know I booed a ref and said bad things to him, and probably said stuff about his mom and their dad. But it's a job they got to do too. Do they blow calls? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do. So we'll get a chance to talk to him. Another guy I like to have on is Chad. He's an AC Prep guy. He's a coach over at the Oklahoma Christian School. He's going to kind of talk to people. What's it like to get into college with your ACT? Even if you didn't take your ACT, your core scores or what you got to have to get in. Because right now it's kind of funny. I don't think kids got an ACT, but you're going to have to get back in the ACT. So he'll kind of talk to people, tell them what's about, and we'll talk to those two guys next week, and we'll also talk to. We'll finish talking second round of playoff, and some will be some of the people's first round, but it'll be some of the people's second round too. So, Big E, I'm excited, man. I mean,
I am too.
Is there anything that
playoffs? We've been waiting for it for a long time. I was starting to get that itch about week 8. I was like, man, I'm ready for these playoffs to start. But
what's really cool, Big E? We've been doing this since
the beginning of the football
season.
And
we're in week 10.
0, week 1.
Yeah. I mean, and look how far we've come, man. I'm really proud of the show, and we keep asking people to, we want you to call in like RT. It's good to have somebody like RT. We want people to call in and talk high school football with us, man. Yeah. We might not agree on everything that we talk about, but come on and talk to us, though, man, because I'm telling you right now, I don't know who I'm going to go visit this week. I'm going to try to get out to a playoff team and go see what's it like, the playoff atmosphere. Like, he's like Big E said, you got to practice, you got to get better. He's right about that, Can't argue with him on that. But, right now you got to take that tempo from 6 to 8, 8 to 9, 9 to 10. You got to keep going up because you can't go down. You got to bring that intensity every week now because it's either win or go home. Right. And I know a lot of people ain't trying to go home, but there's going to be some good games here this week. And I'm telling you, next week is really when it's going to kick off, man. I mean, I'm telling you, the fireworks going to go. You're going to have fireworks in what, November. We're going to have some fireworks going off in November. So, Big E, anything you do want to talk about before we close this out?
Man, I just want to thank everybody that keeps tuning in every week. Ultimately, you're helping my dreams come true. Just kind of that, knowing that we're doing something and people are liking it. We appreciate that. Just keep sharing the video, retweet when we post on Twitter. Be liking, leave us ratings on iTunes. You can go in there, leave a rating. You can give a little feedback, stuff like that. Just keep sharing it. This is just something that me and Tony both love talking about, getting kids that are lesser known a spotlight, giving them some publicity. But we'll have this up hopefully by tonight, Monday night, if not early Tuesday morning. So that'll be out for you. This will be out for you guys, and then
what he's saying, man, is totally 100%. Keep feeding back to us, man. Just don't look at our Twitter, man. And we're not here to dog no high school, no player, no kid. We might say stuff that, like I said, that you might not like, but we're all gonna say stuff that you do like. I shout out to a coach the other day, and I said, don't ever take anything personal what I'm saying, because don't mean I don't like your school, don't like you, because I can't be a homer, because I like every school now. I don't have a, I went fishing today. I had a Choctaw deal on. My brother was like, "Why you got Choctaw?" And I said, it's nothing bad. I still bought that sweatshirt. It kept me warm. I don't have a Keep It 100 sweatshirt, so we will be getting some more gear. Keep It 100 though. Like I said, we want you to keep following us. If you like to drop an ad, be in one of our commercials or ads. Let us know. Let me and Big E know. Shoot us a deal. We will be getting somebody hooked us up with a roofing guy. Will be coming on and doing. We'll be running his ads for the next 3 months. We're running Eric. We're running Spiffy Clean. If Spiffy can't,
Spiffy cans.
If Spiffy can't do it, Nobody
can.
I love that, though. But, you know, Bobby Lewis will be moving to his new location. So we're probably going to need to get that address. So, you know, everybody that kind of helps keep it 100, though, you know, like I said, you know, we're just here to talk high school sports, any sports, man. I know we talk about keeping getting females on, but I do got Jennifer Douglas with El Reno locked in to come on and talk to us about, you know, their season. I got Jenny Holbrook with the Jones girls basketball. Another salty team this year. You know, like to get, you know, Lenny Hatchett on. Probably have one of the best teams in 5A boys basketball. Need to give him a shout. Like I said, like to get Coach Simpson on with the Choctaw Yellow Jackets. Coach Price over at Carl Albert. Guys, we want to reach out to all these coaches, man, because like I said, you know, we're here to talk high school sports, man, and I'm blessed to do it with E. You know, it's fun to sit here and see where we come from and how far we're growing, and we ain't even got our feet, you know, on the ground running yet. We're just still putting things together.
Just getting started, really.
And that's it. And we're getting to talk high school sports, talk about different coaches, man. There's a lot of great coaches out there, a lot of great kids out there. You know, we kind of brought up Kobe and Brazil because those are two kids that are probably a little bit better in the state. And if you guys know anybody out there that's like that, man, please hit us up. We'd love to have him on.
Yes.
He can do a phone interview with us, man. It's all about getting their name out there. It takes one person to watch this show or one person to listen to us or hear us and say, man, you know what? They're right. There's a kid that's out there that's good, man. And believe me, I try to tag everybody when I'm tweeting. I try to tag everybody in Oklahoma. You know, granted, if they like it or don't like it, you know, I'm just going to let you know. I want somebody to find that diamond in the rough because there is that one kid out there that people don't know about. And you know, it's kind of like RT talked about my kid. You know, I'm blessed where my boys are at. I can't dwell on what they didn't get or what they did get. I don't think I really want to dwell on now is getting out of school and getting in the real world because that's the most important thing. Football only goes for so long, or basketball or tennis or golf or whatever sport you play. And guess what? You're in the real world, kind of like me and his dad getting up and going to work, you know. Once again, we thank you for joining.
Keeping it 100.
Oklahoma
High school sports.
Thank you. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.